This especially goes out to the job seekers who are lying on resumes, who are lying on their applications and saying they work for a company that no longer exists, thinking that we HR can't verify that. So this is a great question. And by the way, I'm not saying that magical manifestors is lying. I'm just saying that this is a great question that I want more of those people to ask themselves. So how does a recruiter determine someone is lying about employment at a company that is no longer in business? I know several people who worked at companies that keep going, right? Because it's a longer comment than this allows, but essentially she knows people who worked for companies that no longer exist, maybe through M&A, right? Mergers and acquisitions. So a couple of things that we've done, and again, this comes from some pretty deep experience from multiple organizations and multiple industries. We've asked for W-2s or pay stubs. Not everyone keeps their pay stubs, but typically you'd have a W-2 if you work there. Another thing specific to M&A, the acquiring organization typically maintains those employment records, so we can absolutely ask that organization. So just something to be mindful of, that if you are following the thought process that it's okay to say that you worked for an organization that you did not work for, just know that, and this is not going to happen everywhere. Heck, if I go to get a job at wherever, I won't even start naming names. So if I go get a job at some place that doesn't really care, right? It's fine. I'm going to get an offer, and I could have lied on everything on my resume. They're not going to check, right? So here's what I'll say. Don't lie. Because if you do and you get an offer, and I'll say that offers are typically contingent upon the successful completion of a background check, and we find out, not only are we going to rescind that offer, but we're also going to make a note of it so that when you want to be considered for something in the future, it's going to be a hard no. I hope that helps. And of course, continue to ask the questions, y'all. That's a great question.